Hi everyone, Melissa Kessler here. I just want to tell you a little bit about my story before I go into Superfoods. As you see, I had already posted a little bit about them earlier today, and I just gave you a list of a few that are some of my favorites and told you a little bit about what they do for you. But I'll talk more about that after. I first want to talk about how I started doing what I'm doing. I have been a type 1 diabetic for 32 years, and it's always been normal to me because I pretty much have lived all my life that way. I was 2 years old when I was diagnosed. So I've always eaten pretty healthy, at least what I thought was healthy. In the last few years, I've learned a lot about how to eat and nutrition and what really is healthy and what's good for you. As you've learned this week already, a lot of manufacturers entice us to buy their products by saying they're healthy on their boxes and everything like that. So I always thought, hey, I'm healthy, I'm eating good stuff because it says it's healthy. Well, in the last few years, after reading books and doing so much research, I've learned what's really healthy and what's good for you. And what that is all the natural stuff we get from the earth instead of boxed products. And since I started eating a whole food diet, I have made so many changes in my life. I was never seriously ill due to my diabetes. Thankfully, I did take pretty good care of myself. But in the last few years, my kids are my number one reason that I've done what I've done. After learning of, what diabetes does, and so many people, when they hear I'm diabetic, they're like, oh, you're going to lose a leg, you're going to lose an arm. And I tell them that's not happening because the way I eat and the way I work out and what I do to take care of myself, I just won't allow it to happen. My kids are my number one priority in my life, and there is no way that I'm going to miss any moments of their lives due to not being healthy and not taking care of myself. So that's just a little bit about me. After learning so much, I have decided to start doing these groups, and with my team, we like to help other people. I want to be able to help anyone that I can, especially those with diabetes, because I know what I've been through. And as much as I haven't been sick, but I've seen other people with diabetes and what has happened to them. And I see people in hospitals constantly. And I just don't want that to happen to me or to anybody else that I know that has diabetes themselves. So whatever I can do to teach people to keep from any of that happening, I'm here for you. So now I'll talk a little bit about the superfoods. As I said in my post earlier, they are a powerhouse of nutrients. That is what they are. They do so many good things for us, as you could see in the ones that I did list. And hopefully you have started doing a little bit of research yourselves on some of these. You'll find out how many things they can do for you. Pretty much anybody that we know that has started using all of these nutrients have been able to overcome autoimmune diseases, any conditions. We have files of testimonials of what these things have done for people. So I highly recommend using them. So I'm actually going to show you, I'm going to use some of my superfood nutrients right now, and I am going to make a smoothie. First of all, I actually have my blender here already. I usually use a Vitamix. Today, my Vitamix had a little issue, so I'm using a different one, which actually isn't bad. It's a Hamilton Beach mini blender that I take with me when I travel. Because I never leave my superfoods behind. This thing costed me probably about like $8 on Amazon. So if you can't afford to go and buy a Vitamix or a Bullet or any of those other blenders, you don't necessarily have to. One of these will work to make a smoothie. So now I'm going to show you, I already have ice and water in mine, and this is actually my scoop of my superfood nutrients that I put into my smoothies. So I'm just going to dump that in. More superfoods, kale, spinach, quite a few other things. This I actually get, I get this big tub at Sam's Club of Cara greens, and it's just got a mix of all different greens that are superfoods and that are awesome for you, and it literally costs about $4 for that tub, which normally lasts about a week in my house. Between making smoothies and just regular meals, and then I also freeze some of it, and for other smoothies sometimes I'll use the frozen one. Makes your smoothie a little chunkier, I guess I could say. So yeah, those are an awesome way to get your superfoods in. So this is mine. I already filled it in my tub, measured it out. I'm just going to dump that into my blender. And then I also add fruit, and I usually do berries. This is actually some strawberries and blueberries, some of my favorites. And as a diabetic, berries are one of the best things for you. So I add these into my smoothie just about every day. And I actually, this blender is a little bit smaller. I don't have as much room in it today. But so everything is in here now. I'm going to mix it up and I'll show you what it looks like.